So what we're going to do is we're going to expose some information about some people in this case, and you guys might not like this one because it might not sit well with your sensibilities, but guess what? That's what we do here. So you guys are going to see some pictures that are going to float across this screen. I'm going to tell you guys about this story, about this little girl right here. You're looking at Nariah Ivy Brown. She was only 17 months old, not even 2 years old yet. So she's age 1, beautiful face, sweet, innocent little girl. This toddler died very recently after being sexually assaulted at a Virginia motel. This is what her mother, Asia Brown, A-I-J-A Brown, has told to the media. Now, the Richmond Police Department said in a statement that Brown was assaulted inside of the Colony House Motor Lodge in Midlothian Turnpike on May the 8th. And we're going to put a pin in that hotel story because I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about that hotel because I don't know if you guys are that familiar with it, okay? Now, Nariah Brown, 17-month-old Nariah Brown, succumbed to her injuries on May the 10th at Virginia Commonwealth University's medical campus, authorities have said. Now, Asia Brown told NBC Richmond that she left her daughter with her boyfriend. Now, this part is different than what the media has been putting out there. So I want you guys to count how many new facts that we are putting out there. Number 1, new fact. It says that Asia Brown told NBC Richmond that she left her daughter with her boyfriend. Now, in the original story, it was told that she left her baby in the hands of, quote unquote, someone she could trust. I want you guys to understand that is 2 completely different accounts of a story. The reason why that's significant is because of the fact of what's been told to us and what has been omitted in the details so far. Everybody catch that? In the initial report, she said, I left my baby in the hands of someone we could trust. The family referred to this person as a quote unquote family friend. In this report from NBC Richmond, she says she left her daughter with her boyfriend. Just Jay, why is that significant? Well, you know what? I'm glad you guys asked. If you guys would do me a favor and click that thumbs up, it'll share our stream and let other people know that we're live telling this story. I promise you, more people need to hear this. Take a moment, click the damn thumbs up, please. Everybody needs to hear this story, okay? A man she had been dating for a year. Brand new information. This is somebody she's been dating for a year, and she's known since the 4th grade. Nariah Brown's exact cause of death has not been revealed because they are still doing investigative work on the baby's body. She hasn't even been laid to rest yet, okay? So I want you guys to take a pen and bookmark that part of the story. We'll come back to it. Now, here's what you guys need to know. Asia Brown said her last words to her daughter were, "Baby, I love you." So in an interview, Asia Brown, the mom, said that her last words to her child were, "Baby, I love you, and I'm going to let you go with him, and I'll be right back." Keep in mind, she's telling this to a 17-month-old baby. Asia told the station that she had left her child as she needed to give another family member a car ride to work. I want you guys to take note of that. We're talking about grown people that needed to get a ride, but she could not take her baby with her, so she left her baby with what we know now as her boyfriend. Did you guys catch that part? Let's move on. Now, when Asia returned to the motel, which this motel again is Colony House Motor Lodge in Midlothian Turnpike. Colony House Motor Lodge. If you type that name in, you will find it. Google search it. It is one of the crappiest hotels I have ever seen. I promise you guys, that place looks ridiculous. I even made a phone call and tried to reach the owner. And guess what? This fool act like he don't speak no English and his English sound very broken. I couldn't hardly understand what he talking about. I gave up on him. But I did reach out to the damn hotel, right? But they, let's move on. All right? Now, she returned to the hotel room where she said she discovered her daughter had been horrifically assaulted and was suffering injuries, including punctured lungs and broken ribs. I need everybody in the chat to let me know that you heard what I just said. She had been horrifically assaulted and was suffering injuries, including punctured lungs and broken ribs. Now, I want you guys to understand this part of the story. There is zero mention of anybody else coming to the hotel besides this baby being left with what we know now as her boyfriend. Oh, wait, it gets more. It gets worse, guys. It gets a lot worse, okay? Now, Asia Brown says, I was in panic mode, disgusted, in total shock that anything happened to her. I love my daughter, but I just want parents, anybody, keep your children close. Now, in a separate interview, Asia said that she was giving her baby CPR as she was being rushed to a local hospital. Asia, the mom, said, I was giving my baby CPR in the back seat because I thought she wasn't breathing. While in an interview with Richmond Times-Dispatch, Asia Brown described her final moments with her daughter, saying, when I held my daughter in my arms for the last time, I said, baby, I love you, and I'm going to let you go with him. I'll be right behind you. I'll be up there, and I'm going to hold you again. Here's point number 2. All right. So far, an unnamed person is in custody in relation to the crime. Now, this is what I've been spending my time doing. And let me take a pause for the cause. And I want to thank everybody that is contributing to my platform because you guys are making it very worthwhile. I spent 7 hours yesterday. 7 hours. This is why you guys did not get a stream yesterday. The chat's not moving? Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Let me refresh it and see what happens. Sorry about that. There you go. See if it's moving now. Let's see what happens. Is it still not moving? That might be a problem. Let me see if I can try to fix that for you guys. This thing is having some issues. Let's see. Okay, I see it now. Let's see if I can get that chat moving for you guys. I don't know what the heck is wrong with that chat. It does that. Hold on just a second, guys. I will cut this out on the replay. Let me try to fix this chat for you guys. It is still doing it. I cannot believe this. Well, guys, I don't know. We might have to do without the chat for a moment. I don't know what's really going on with it. Okay, it's moving for you. Okay, there it goes. I don't know. The chat just does that. Like, this program just has an issue. Now, again, what I did was I spent 7 hours of my time researching this. I was calling every business in that area. I called the hotel. I called all kinds of businesses. Some people were helpful in information. Some other people weren't. I called every police phone number that I had down there. And I'm going to tell you guys something. The Richmond police, I don't know what their issue is, but none of them. I called about 4, 5, 6, 7 different numbers, and not one of them. I called the police headquarters, all kinds of places. I even called the Crime Stoppers hotline, and they referred me to a number where I could reach the police. Called that number, still nobody picked up. I'm very disappointed in that because you don't know what the hell I was calling for. So I'm very disappointed in the police department. I contacted every single family member that I possibly could because their social media pages are still up, as well as the person that we believe to be the boyfriend. Everybody catch that. All of these hours that I spent my time, that's why you guys did not get a stream yesterday, because I'm just like, by the time I finished getting all my information, I said, let me just try to do this the next day. All right. Now, they say that this person is in custody in relation to the crime, but they have not put this person's name out there. Don't you guys think that's a little bit weird? Anybody? Anybody out there find that weird? I said, for somebody to do something, or at least be accused of doing something this heinous to this baby, like, look at her face. Like, I don't understand. Why would we not put a face to this potential criminal? A person of interest has been taken into custody in relation to Brown's horrific death. The person is being held by U.S. Marshals on a parole violation. That's a key point. Said he is being held on a parole violation by U.S. Marshals. That's the key point. I want you to remember that. The person's identity has not been revealed. Anybody with information regarding the assault is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 804-780-1000. I did, and it was a waste of goddamn time. Waste of time. Guess what Just Jay did with his time? You guys ready? You guys ready? Hit that thumbs up. Here's the information. Boom. I want you guys to look at what I looked up from the Richmond Police Department. I'm going to put this on the screen so you guys can see it. I'm going to blow it up so you guys can see this. I looked up all crime types, and I spent a lot of time doing this. There were dozens of crime types within a couple of days, so I narrowed it down as close as I could within 24 hours. As you can see, there was this particular offense. I'm gonna put my let me put my tool on here so you guys can see my whiteboard. I looked at something and I said the location, because any of these other reports show way more information. I want you guys to take a look that they said that this happened at a hotel around this date, around Midlothian. It gave an incident number. And if you Google search that hotel, like I told you guys, you will find that it is on the Midlothian Turnpike. The date that the incident occurred, 5/12/2019, right? I said, damn, that looks really, really, really close to who we are looking for. So I clicked this thing that says arrestee. Guess what came up? Nothing. So one would have to ask, why is this significant? Well, guess what? Of course, I was going to tell you guys why this is significant. The reason why that information is significant is because what DJ Just Jay did, I can't give up all my information about how I did what I did, but I actually found his name. Some people were very nice to me in the comments section, and those people posted this image. I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see what I was sent. I am so glad that people out there care about children as much as I do. I asked, who did this? What is his name? Because if he's well known within the family, if he's a trusted family friend, then somebody should have known his name, who he was, what he looked like. They should have had something on him, right? So I said, it's just a matter of time. Let's just message everybody. I got all fucking day, right? I got all goddamn day. So what I did was I waited until somebody responded, and thank God for about the 4 or 5 people out of about 100 that responded. And it was some family members that flat out told me it's a private matter and it's none of my business. Can y'all believe that? They care so little about this baby that they told me it's a private matter, and they're trying to not expose the potential person, the alleged person that did this. They posted this photo and said, This is who we believe did it. So I said, okay, fine. Now we have an image. Now we have something to go on. Well, this name is Meal Ticket Back. Of course, that is not a real name. That is probably an artist name. So I said, let me look it up. Well, there were two Facebook profiles that came up. One being Meal Ticket in the last letter, the K-E-T. There was a second T on there, and then there was a B-A-C-K-K. And then you have this one. So I looked both of those up. Under the first one, I found nothing. Under this one, I found this profile. I scrolled, I looked, there wasn't much on there. I said, okay, well, damn, fine. There's not much to go on here because you don't have a name. You don't have really very many photos. There's not much to go on here until somebody sent me this. I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see this. This is a screenshot of yet another person claiming, which is why you have to be very careful with what people claim before you put it out there. A person claimed, they said, he is a sick individual. I hope you rot in jail and someone do you exactly how you did that precious baby. So I said, wow, okay. So they're directing this to him. There's more photos of him. There's the GoFundMe information there, as well as that same profile picture with the 2 T's and the 2 K's at the end. And I said, wait a minute, that looks like the same exact name. So I said, now the only thing that I need is an actual government name. So I went hoping to find his name, and I cannot give you guys my source, but I'm going to tell you guys, there was about 3 people out of the hundreds of people that I contacted, 3 that gave me a name to go on. Not a guaranteed name, but just a name to go on. I want you guys to understand this. This is another thing that is very, very significant. Now, there's a lot of information here. We have to unpack a lot of stuff, so you guys have to be patient, okay? Be very, very patient while we talk about this. All right? Now, what you're going to notice here is someone said he goes by Meal Ticket Back and is a complete thug. His profile is down now. That's the one that had the 2 T's at the end and the 2 K's at the end. Yes, thank you, Jessica and Dennis. If you guys want to contribute and show some love instead of throwing money away into a GoFundMe, then you could put that same amount of money into your platform that is exposing people that abuse babies and children who cannot defend themselves and who cannot speak for themselves. That is what we represent here, and that is what I put my platform on the line for. So if you guys want to contribute to that, then by all means, I love you guys if you would do that. Now, let's continue to talk about this. First and foremost, they gave the same name. Multiple people keep giving the same name, and they call him a thug. Well, how often do we say that these women date thugs? What is our mantra? If you date thugs, you date death. Hashtag date thugs, date death. Right? The reason we refer to that is because it usually puts the mother's life at risk as well as her children when she dates thugs. Sure choice. But when you put kids in the mix, it's not smart to put your kids in harm's way. Thought I'd throw that out there. Now, let's look at the very next message right there in the middle. It says, the article's chick. It was her boyfriend. He was a convicted pedophile. I want you guys to understand that that is alleged, because I don't know for a fact yet, because we are going off of information that people are putting out there about somebody that they say that they know. So until I find out otherwise, we're going to go with this information. They are saying he's a convicted pedophile. Now, why is that significant? Because the first time the mother said it was a family friend. Catch her in a different interview, and it is recorded that they say that the mother referred to this man as her boyfriend. Big ass difference, isn't it? Right? Yeah, big difference between family friend and boyfriend. That means somebody you knew, somebody you're sleeping with, right? Big difference. Because now that leads me to believe that somebody's lying and somebody's hiding information. And if you're hiding information, then it leads me to believe that you are in collusion with taking up for a criminal. That's a fucking problem, right? Let's move on. Again, the next comment said, this baby was raped to death. They found cocaine in her system too. I want you guys to understand that this person that we believe it was is on probation. All right? Now, the news reported that the dude that they arrested is only arrested on the parole violation. Sounds like the same person, right? I'm going to show you guys one more thing. While you guys are here, click the thumbs up, please. If you're not going to donate, all I ask you to do is just click the thumbs up. I see a lot of names typing, but I want to see a lot of thumbs up clicking, if you would. Please, for this baby's sake. It shares our stream and let other people know that we're live. I want you guys to take a look at this. There was another comment that was left, and it said she knew what she was doing. She left her baby that was in prison for rape. And what he means to say is she left her baby with a person that was in prison for rape. Somebody said below that, how do you know he was in prison for rape? Who is he? Then they said he was in prison for molestation, I heard, not rape. Why is that significant? Because you usually use the terminology. You could use it for whatever you want to, I suppose, by way of its definition. But usually when you think molestation, you usually think of kids. That's why that's significant, okay? You guys ready for the last little bit of information? I'm going to put this out there, and we're going to step all the way out there tonight. We got about 261 people watching. This is the same photo coming from multiple profiles, and a lot of people have been now starting to circulate photos, and all of these photos are lining up with this guy. So here's the final question before we move on to the video section. This is what I spent 7 hours of my time doing. You guys ready for this? Now, since I was given a name, all I did was I took the name and I said, how about we take that name and start asking people and posting this photo and asking certain people, is this the person that you're talking about was arrested? Family members. And I'm not going to say who they were. Since they want to withhold information, I'm withhold my information. I gave them a name. And I said, is this him? They responded. 3 people responded, yes. I believe, this is alleged, but I believe that this person's name is Barron Spurlock. I'll put that in the chat so you guys can see that. That is the name that I was given by a family member. They refer to this person as Barron Spurlock. Barron Spurlock. Now, why is Just Jay saying this? Because I actually spoke finally with a police department or where these people are locked up in jail, got a phone number, and I called and I asked them, I said, do you guys have a Spurlock there? They said, yes, we do. I said, does he have a bail? They said, who are you talking about? They said, are you talking? And I said, I'm talking about a Barron Spurlock. They said, yes, we have a Barron Spurlock here in this area. And I said, okay, good. So I said, does he have a bail? They say, no, he does not have a bail. I said, well, why does he not have a bail? If somebody wanted to bail him out, why does he not have a bail? They said that they won't know if he's going to have a bail on the charges that this particular person has based on the name and if we believe that this is the same person. And they said in 15 days, they will, keep in mind, they said in 15 days that they will know. That's when his next court date is. They will know what he's officially being charged with, if this is the same person. Google it all you want to. I spent 7 hours of my time. Try Googling it if you want to. You won't find what I found. You feel me? Higher vibration? I want y'all to look it up. If you can find something, look it up. But that's why we're doing this, because I believe that this information is correct. But I've been Google searching, so if you can find it, that's what we're putting it out for. Okay? Y'all appreciate my efforts. I appreciate y'all. Because this was one of the hardest stories I've ever had to do. So I asked them, I said, so what's the correlation to his court date 15 days from now compared to what he's in jail for now? And guess what they said Barron Spurlock was in jail for? Anybody want to take a guess? We're going to do a pop quiz right now. There's a prize on the line. The prize is a pat on the back. What do you guys think that the name Barron Spurlock in this same area was recently arrested for? What do you think he was arrested for? What do you think he was actually picked up for, since the official charges aren't out yet? Anybody remember? Guys ready? Natalie got it. Parole violation. Now, why is that significant? Woo! I'm going to show you why. This is why that's significant. A person of interest has been taken into custody in relation to Nariah Brown's horrific death. The person being held by U.S. Marshals is being held on a parole violation. That person's identity has not been revealed. Anybody with information regarding the assault is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 804-780-1000. But I spoke with them, and by the way, they're actually pretty nice people for the most part. But they were not helpful with regard, because obviously they're just there to take tips. He is being held by U.S. Marshals on a parole violation. Now, how big of a freaking coincidence is that? Oh! We almost got 300 people in the building. You're welcome. Let me take a bow. For the people that are truly concerned about this baby, about Nariah Davis, or excuse me, Nariah Brown. I said Nariah Davis. Nariah Ivy Brown, 17 months old. For everybody that is concerned about that baby, they had a vigil for her and everything. For everybody that's concerned about that baby, this is what we work for, right there. This is who we believe to be the man by the name of Barron Spurlock, who just so happens to be arrested, who just so happens to be on a parole violation, who just so happens to have a court date 15 days from now, who just so happens to know the family, who just so happens to be a long time known person, who just so happens to have a Facebook page that was matched up with these pictures, who just so happens to have 2 Facebook pages, who just so happen to match up with 2 photos that people put out there initially. And when I asked family members, they just so happened to confirm for me and said, yes, that's the dude. I want y'all to tell me that the Soto podcast is not good at what we do. Check and checkmate. Now, what do we say about this? Why is this man so significant? First and foremost, if he were to get a bail, don't you guys think that you should know if there is a predator, a potential predator out there? Yes, you should be able to protect yourself, your kids, your children, your husbands, your wives, right? From a person that potentially could harm others, that is already proven to be a person that makes horrible decisions, especially around people that are the most vulnerable. You're looking at more photos of this same person. You don't believe me? Now you got the information. Now you can look it up. Now you got something to go on. Where is he locked up at? He is being held by U.S. Marshals. This is in Richmond, Virginia. Matter of fact, let me find that screenshot again. Hold on. More specifically, the Richmond Police Department in neighborhood Midlothian. You should be able to look it up like that. So since the information is eventually going to come out there, I'm pretty sure that we have the correct information. Now, why is the rest of this going to be significant? You guys ready for this? Pidge Rivet said it. I want you guys to read what Pidge Rivet said in the chat. Can you guys take a moment and look at what Pidge Rivet said? What did Pidge Rivet say in the chat? Pidge Rivet said, what was he on parole for? Got to look it up. He violated parole. But it is, from my understanding, that it was from a molestation charge. I don't know that to be a fact. But all I know is that a person by the name of Barron Spurlock is on parole and he violated parole. Why he is on parole, to me, doesn't matter as much as a mother that would put her child around somebody that was on parole. Did you guys catch what I just said? Let's rewind that. Let's say it again. What he's on parole for does not matter to me as much as the fact that he is a person that is on parole. And the fact that a mother would have her 17-month-old child around a person that is currently on parole. It is impossible that they did not know that this person was on parole, especially if they referred to him as a family friend, meaning they should know that this family friend was in trouble. Because why does everybody else around know, but the family wouldn't know, especially the person that's having sex with him? I'm sure that that person would know, which means that be the mother. Oh, crap. Is that going to get me flagged? Is that going to get me sued? Maybe. I don't know if I got enough in the coffers to cough up some sue money. I don't know if I got sue money, if she's going to sue me. Let's look at the mom. We are trying to teach people, for the family members that are listening, we are trying to teach people to make better choices for their children. That's what we're trying to teach. We're not on here to beat up the mom. We're not up on here to beat up on the family. We are here to beat up on criminals for damn sure. I am. I don't mind exposing criminals, because I believe you should follow the damn law, right? We're not here to beat up on victims. But what I am saying is that as mothers who give birth and do one of the most important jobs that you will ever do on God's green earth, just recently by Mother's Day. I want you guys to understand how close this was to Mother's Day. We are just days past Mother's Day. This happened between Mother's Day and Monday. And this mother left her 1-year-old baby around somebody that's on parole. I told you guys, I don't mind if these women deal with thugs, but you cannot have your children around thugs. Criminals, gangbangers, dope dealers, none of that. Especially if they are accused of molestation or rape. Whatever the case is, you damn sure don't need to leave your kids alone with them. Matter of fact, let's look at it like this. If the mother was just giving somebody a ride to work, her baby's only 1 year old. Why didn't she just put her baby in the car seat and just take her baby if all she was doing was giving a family member a ride to work and coming right back to the hotel? Interesting, huh? Anybody else out there find that interesting? Last but not least, I'm going to put this on full screen so you guys can see this hotel. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I want you guys to look at the freaking Colony House Motor Lodge in Richmond, Virginia. Guys, if you can't see that, they're charging $30 a night. I want you guys to tell me, how good do you think this hotel is? When I Google search it, they have 1 star. Out of a possible 5 stars, they have 1 star. 1. This hotel is charging $30 damn a night at the Colony House Motor Lodge. And I'm going to tell you something. That dude that picked up the phone that couldn't speak or no English, that scares me. You just take anybody and everybody into this raggedy, cheap, stanky, filthy, bug-infested, needs to be tore down hotel. For like, why do they even have hotels that exist for $30 a night? I personally don't understand that. To me, I'd rather sleep in my car. I'd rather sleep outside on the goddamn ground before I sleep in a hotel for $30. How many people out there would sleep in a $30 hotel a night? No clean sheets, no clean towels, no clean floors, probably no clean water. It probably smells like crap. The no-tail motel. But this type of place, they're usually next to strip clubs. That's exactly where I was getting ready to go. For some of my people out there that are club goers like what I used to be, most of y'all know that these are usually the places where you take these little females that you just meet and you take them to the telly. You take them to the cheapest hotel you could possibly find that money can buy because you're going to spend all your money up in the club, right? I want you guys to understand that the mother had her 1-year-old baby in a $30 a night hotel with a person that is on parole violation. Did y'all hear the sound of my voice? A dirty, nasty, stinky hotel. And I want you guys to also think about this. The fact that most mothers can get on Section 8. Most mothers can get food stamps. Most mothers can easily get government assistance under Title 4-D, the welfare program. It's not that hard, whether you're working or whether you're not. All you got to do is apply, literally. So you didn't take advantage of government housing. You're not taking advantage of government food. You're not taking advantage of government vouchers. You're not taking advantage of Habitat for Humanity. You're not taking advantage of Section 8 getting your a house. No, you're not taking advantage of any of this, because by all means, I could not understand why else you would be at the Colony House Motor Lodge. Can anybody explain that to me? Let's go ahead and move on. I think I've exposed a lot about this. For the people that are watching, please hit that thumbs up and let me know, didn't your boy DJ Just J do a damn good job putting all this information out there? I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I think I did a pretty damn good job. Let's go ahead and get this fair use popping on our new studio. Let me know what you guys think about this new studio. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Nariah Brown was born a preemie. For 3 months, she fought to live. Her mom, Asia, never missed a day, pledging to her baby girl that she would never leave her side. A promise she kept.
I was giving my baby CPR in the backseat.
Until the very end.
Because I thought she wasn't breathing.
Nariah, 17 months old, was pronounced dead Friday.
Now, I want you guys to understand that I'm not casting any dispersions on the mom, but what I'm saying is that the mom put her baby in a position where her baby was not going to win. She put her baby in a horrible position. That's what I'm saying. The rest of you guys can look at it however you want to. If the mother needs to be implicated and put in jail, if you guys want to think that, then I can understand why you might say that. But I'm just throwing this out there, just saying that it seems weird that she put her daughter in the worst possible position. That's all I'm saying.
I was giving my baby CPR in the backseat.
Until the very end.
Because I thought she wasn't breathing.
Nariah, 17 months old, was pronounced dead Friday after arriving at VCU's critical care unit from Chippenham Hospital on Wednesday. Crime Insider sources say she was sexually assaulted in a room at the Southside Motel. Police confirm a person of interest in this case is locked up. CI sources tell me he was arrested by the U.S. Marshals on a probation violation.
That I was going to always protect her. She never did anything to anybody. She wasn't a mean baby. She was loving.
She's only 17 months old. How much bad could she have done at 17 months old? I just thought that was kind of odd.
Anybody. She wasn't a mean baby. She was loving. She would go up to people she didn't even know to hug them and smile and play with them.
Nariah had a radiant personality. A little girl who loved Disney Junior.
She loved puppy dog pals. She loved dogs. Anytime she went in her room, she would be like woof woof, and she was just learning how to talk.
Nariah was her only child. Asia saying she's emotionally distraught and will lean on family and friends for support and love to help her carry on without her smiling and happy baby girl.
My sweet baby. Sweet.
No one charged in this case. Crime Insider sources tell me those charges could come soon. There will be a vigil for young Nariah at Forest Hill Park tomorrow night at 6. They're asking folks to bring teal and purple colored balloons. The family also does need help for funeral services. They have set up a GoFundMe account. That will be linked to our web story on WTVR.com. Working for you in South Richmond, John Burkett, CBS 6 News.
Who said that? Somebody said... Yo-Yo Marie said, a mean baby? Question mark. What is a mean baby? What is a mean baby? She didn't say nothing about the dude. That's right. That's right. Man, let's keep going. I've talked enough. I've exposed enough. I've done my job. Let's just listen to the news videos. Let's go.
NBC 12 News.
Tonight in Richmond, family and loved ones are honoring the memory of a 17-month-old girl who they say was viciously attacked and killed. Family members tell us Nariah Brown was sexually assaulted at a South Richmond motel, and then she died 2 days later at the hospital. Nariah's mother had left her with someone she knew.
Richmond reporter Kelly Avellino joining us.
She said it was her boyfriend. Let's go.
Live from
Y'all click that thumbs up, please. Thank you to the people that already clicked the thumbs up. Click the thumbs up.
Forest Hill Park, where loved ones.
Hashtag, where is the father? Where's the biological father? Can we get a hashtag, where's the father? Perfect time to do it.
Are gathering now.
Nurse Mommy Ford said her and Malia Davis' mother are criminally negligent. Great point. Great point. That's absolutely right. Mothers put these kids in horrible positions where they had to fend for their lives against a grown adult that was out to hurt them. Strange. Let's go.
Kelly, what can you tell us about this crime?
It is so incredibly difficult to conceive what happened to this little girl, how she died in such an atrocious way. Nariah Brown's family and loved ones are here right now. You can see they have blue and purple balloons and candles. They are about to start a vigil for her memory in just a few moments. But family members do tell me that Nariah Brown's mother left her at the motel room with a man that was known to her last Wednesday so that her mother could give a relative a ride. When she returned, court records say that Asia Brown found her daughter in a lethargic state. She took Nariah to the hospital where doctors discovered a long list of injuries, including punctured lungs and fractured ribs. Now, Nariah had been sexually assaulted and unable to recover from her vicious attack. She died Friday at VCU Medical Center. A person of interest was taken into custody. No charges have been announced just yet, but I am told they are coming. Investigators taking various items as evidence from that hotel room, including towels, wash.
Look at that. Single rooms for $30 a night. God dang, man. Hashtag shut it down. Can we get a hashtag shut it down? We need to shut down all nasty, filthy, stinky, dirty, bug-infested hotels that do nothing but that are breeding ground for crime, pimps, hoes, and death. Hashtag shut it down. Let's go.
Cloths, bedding, and white powder. Now, Nariah's family has set up a GoFundMe account that's linked to our app and this article on our website to help pay for funeral expenses. Coming up at 11, we'll hear more from family members who are beyond devastated at this little girl's loss and the tragic way she died. On your side in Richmond, I'm Kelly Avellino for NBC 12 News.
Hashtag shut it down.
NBC 12 News.
In Candace, perhaps even more disturbing, as Crime Insider sources confirm the age of the little girl is under 3 years old. Police confirm they were called to a location, the 6400 block of Midlothian Turnpike, for the report of a child assaulted. Multiple CI sources tell me it was at the Colony House Motor Lodge and that the child was under the age of 3. And
She was 17 months old. Let's go.
Had been sexually assaulted and suffered trauma to her skull.
Yes, there's another GoFundMe. Did you think it wasn't Lady Foots? Yes, there's a GoFundMe. Come on, y'all didn't think there wasn't no. You better stop it. Stop it. You thought there wasn't a GoFundMe, really? Really? Come on. You know your boy DJ Just Jay is going to do some investigative work if I spent 7.5 hours doing this story, right? Gathering information. You didn't think that I was going to find a GoFundMe if there wasn't one out there? Oh, we're going to talk about it. So take your pen and bookmark the GoFundMe. We're going to come back to it. Let's go.
My sources also telling me the girl was taken to Chippendale Hospital, stabilized, then transferred to VCU Medical Center where she remains in critical condition tonight. Legal expert Ed Riley tells us what would happen if the girl's situation gets worse and becomes a capital offense.
It's hard to get much more violent and despicable and disgusting. I mean, whatever word you want to use kind of applies to this type of offense, just inhuman.
It is inhuman. So why won't you tell us his name? That's what I'm wondering.
So I think that is part of it, certainly. But also, too, you got to look at the defendant and some of the reasons as to why that happens. We don't really know anything about him as far as his mental health, as far as, you know.
If he's on parole violation, then you have to know something about his history, right? Barron Spurlock. That's who we believe that it is based on the information that we've looked up and called and text and got all kinds of emails. All right, let's go.
What is his IQ? Things along those lines that could be limiting for capital offenses.
No word on the suspect tonight, Candace. As for that little girl, we are told she is fighting for her life here, again, at VCU Medical Center. Working for you in downtown Richmond, John Burkett.
Ray Quinn said $30 a night, a panhandler can afford a better room than that. I agree. I totally agree. That's what I'm saying. Like $30 a night is like, yo, that's like beyond horrible. That's like, why? Why were you even at a $30 a night hotel? For what? All right, here's the vigil. It's only 1 minute long. Let me see. His name needs to be released. Well, yes, I agree, Red, to you. I 100% agree. But I'm telling you guys now, look up Meal Ticket Back and Barron Spurlock. Put those names together. Barron's name is Barron, Spurlock, Spurlock. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys. I'm going to put both names in the chat because I want you guys to look it up and see if these bits of information don't match up with one another. We're not saying it with absolute certainty, but I'm pretty positive that we're very close. I believe that I'm 97%, maybe even 99% sure. Here's the video of the vigil.
Make a whole lot of noise. Come on. One, two, three. We'll miss you, Nariah. We'll miss you, Nariah. We'll miss you, Nariah.
For my niece, man. Love you, baby girl.
What did he say?
Love you, baby girl.
He said that's his niece. I want to thank a couple people that are donated to the show. We got a few people that have contributed. So I want to say thank you to Jessica and Dennis, who donated $5 to the show. I want to say thank you very much. I want to read a couple more names here real quick. To first-time donator, Vincent W. said, great job, took the $5 challenge. I want to say thank you very much to Vincent. Let me also say thank you to, I believe she's in the chat. Let me make sure of her message, just in case she don't want her name read. Love always. Happy Wednesday. That's from Parker Lynn. She's in the chat. So thank you, Parker Lynn. She took on the $15 challenge, which is pretty dope. As always, my brother, Mr. Stram in the chat took on the $5 challenge, but he's always showing love. Whether it's more or less, he's always showing love. Mr. Stram, I thank you, my brother. This one comes from, let me make sure I can say the name, from Don Love in the chat. I know Don had to take off, but Don sent the $20 challenge through, and I want to say thank you to Don. And the first person that donated while we were offline said, hey, Jay, I saw you on Tommy's channel the other day. It ain't much, but it's something. And that person knows who they are. Said, hashtag who that, took on the $2 challenge. And I want to say thank you. Also, who donated offline was Michelle Timms. And she said, thank you for everything that you do, telling Black parents about themselves. That says a lot about your character. God bless. Can't wait for the next show. One love. Thank you very much. This one came from, let me make sure I can say the name. Mr. DJ, I like your content. I thought other men were on this channel. I would donate as I can. Thank you very much. And Ivy took on the $5 challenge, so I want to say thank you very much. And I think that's everybody. So if you guys want to donate, do that before we end the show. Let's go ahead and finish out.
Uncle love you, baby.
One of our Soto Nation friends in the chat likes to remain anonymous, but did send a $20 donation by way of the PayPal link, and I want to say That person knows who they are. I'm giving you a prayer hands. Thank you very much for always showing me love and being supportive. Thank you very much. You know who you are. Thank you very much.
Uncle love you, baby.
Angel, I just love you so much. And I'm gonna always be behind you. Your little big sister got you.
Come on, let's continue to pray.
Now, again, that's the vigil. So let me go ahead and show you guys this last video. And this video was actually put out on a news website. So we're using this by way of fair use on the 17 USC 107. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys listen to this before we wrap up, because I thought this was something you guys might want to hear. Let's just listen to what another YouTuber had to say. All right. Again, this was put up on the news station, but I want you guys to listen to what was said.
Hey, so, I'm sure people have heard about Malia Davis from Texas, and now there is information about a 17-month-old girl named Nariah Brown out of Virginia. And Nariah was born prematurely, and she spent the first 3 months of her life in the hospital fighting for her life. She won the fight, but unfortunately, she's gone at 17 months old because her mother left her alone in a hotel room with a man who sexually assaulted this 17-month-old child. And that baby died from the injuries. I'm sick of you bitches, man. I'm sick of these negligent ass mothers.
Woo! Did y'all hear her? Let's rewind that. Woo, she putting flames. She putting some flames out there. Let's listen again. I was like, damn, did she say what I think she just said? For the people that are leaving, man, I know it's late, but damn, y'all, don't miss out on this. Listen to what she said again.
And that baby died from the injuries. I'm sick of you bitches, man. I'm sick of these negligent ass mothers and fathers. Why are you single when your kid is only 17 months old? What's up with the child's father that you can't leave your baby with the father?
Bang, bang, bang. Does she not sound like me? Go ahead, girl. I might need to get her on the show. Let's listen to that again.
Why are you single when your kid is only 17 months old?
Right.
What's up with the child's father that you can't leave your baby with the father? What's up with him? Why is he not available? And why are you so negligent that you're leaving your baby alone in a hotel with a random dude? Like, I'm starting to think that some of these women listen, I'm starting to think that some of these women are getting paid. Like, they're taking money from these dudes, and in exchange, they're leaving their children in harm's way. Because why, like, what in your head makes you think it's okay to leave a 17-month-old with a random person? Do you understand that when it comes to kids, for real, in this day and age, you can't trust anybody? But why would you basically be in a new relationship with dude? You're in a hotel with your baby. You know, you can't even wait till you get a babysitter or leave the child with a family member. You're in a hotel room with this dude, with your baby that's 17 months old. And you leave this man alone with your baby, and he sexually assaults her. And this little girl was a fighter. She came into this world fighting. Like I said, she spent the first couple of months of her life fighting to live. So baby girl was a fighter. Nariah Brown wanted to be here because she spent the first 3 months of her life fighting to be here.
Facts. Facts.
only to be left alone in a hotel room with a man who sexually assaulted her. Listen, I don't get it. I don't get it. And the thing with the media is that it's bringing a lot of things to light. And we really have to assess the way that we're moving as people in general, but particularly for people who are parents. Like, do you understand? I have a 9-year-old niece, a 2-year-old nephew, and then my next youngest niece is like 12 or 13. I'm not leaving them alone with anybody, period.
Right.
Okay? So I don't understand how you give birth to a child and you're so nonchalant that you just say, oh, my baby is 17 months old. You know, she's not even a year and a half yet. So, you know, at that age, little babies, you know, they can't really form full sentences. So if someone is harming them, they don't even have the words to tell you. And you leave this child alone with this man. I'm sorry. I feel like in these situations, when these kids end up dying like this, not only should the perpetrator be charged, but these parents need to be charged with, you know, child abuse, negligence, child endangerment, because you have to take responsibility for the fact that your poor decision making indirectly helped your child be killed.
I agree. I agree.
There's really something wrong with these people who are sexually attracted to children. And there's really something wrong with these parents who have such little concern for their children that they don't care who they're leaving their kids with. So rest in peace, Nariah Brown. I hope she gets justice. And, you know, I just hope that more people that are responsible for children are really careful about leaving your kids with random ass people. Okay?
Excellent video. That's the perfect way to close out. That's the perfect way to close out. Again, guys, if you want to hear the expose information, what I did, why I did, and all of that kind of stuff, then you will have to rewatch the stream. You know, because I'm trying to make sure I don't get in any type of legal trouble or anything like that. But not only do I believe I did my due diligence, I believe that this story paid off. I hope that this story continues to spread and more people continue to share the word about this particular story. As you guys see, you actually can look at our stream, our channel, our stories, and what we do here. And for the people that find it in their hearts and in their finances to contribute to us, I think you guys can clearly see where your efforts are going. Can you agree to that? For the people that are able to do so, I think that they are able to see where that comes from, where that goes, what they are getting in return. And we are not going to stop. We're going to go harder and harder on people that take advantage of those that cannot defend themselves, those that cannot speak for themselves. Those are our children that need us the most. They are crying for our help as parents, as citizens, as relatives. I beg you guys, if you see something, please do not be afraid to say something. Speak out to the police. Be very, very careful if you take the law into your own hands, because you will have to deal with the ramifications. But if you take the law into your own hands to protect a child, I understand. I totally understand. Because there's a lot of things, especially for my daughter, that I'm just going to handle, right? So I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this stream. I hope it was worth your time. Please make sure you guys continue to like, share, and subscribe to the Soto Podcast, where you guys know we advocate for children first. I want to say thank you guys, and RIP, young, beautiful sister. You came in this world fighting. Couldn't have said it any better. I really wish that they would have just done their due diligence and giving you a chance. You guys are 100% right. I'm about to end this stream, but y'all want to know about the GoFundMe. I almost forgot. I ain't gonna lie to you. Here's the GoFundMe. Sorry about that. I apologize. This is where the GoFundMe is. The GoFundMe has already met and exceeded its goal. They were asking for $3,500. They have collected $5,585 in 4 days on behalf of baby Nariah Brown. They left a small message here. Not a lot of details, no links or anything like that. But as you guys can see, there are people in there donating a lot of money, and it's already reached its goal. So it is what it is as far as that goes. But it is available, and it's under Nariah Troopers. So if you guys want to find the GoFundMe, that's where the information is. But I always encourage you guys to just use caution and exercise whenever you contribute to any GoFundMe campaigns. It's crowdfunding, and we should always look at it with a sense of criticism to just make sure that we're giving to a just cause, right? This is your boy DJ Just Jam signing out. I want to say thank you to everybody that came through and listened. Thank you for everybody that stayed to hear this story. Please make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and we are out.